Hi guys, very good afternoon, and today I'm going to discuss about the Coelenterata 2, that is, it is the second part of the Coelenterata lecture, that is the lecture on animal diversity lecture series, and this is lecture number 17, so enjoy it. And here we are going to discuss about the Hydra and metagenesis and coral reef. So these are very important topics when we are asked from the Coelenterata in various exams like MSc entrances and PhD entrances, CSIR, NET, ICMR, DBT. Sometimes these are asked. Coral reefs are like frequently asked in the examinations like CSIR, DBT, section A, that is the aptitude part. And even in the PCS exams, coral reefs are asked. So guys, let's continue with the topic, and I'm going to start the topic with the Hydra. Hydra is very important and very important organism because it is most common in the fresh water. So guys, Hydra is the genus. Okay, so genus, these organisms are found. Suppose we have studied that there were three classes of the Coelenterata or cnidarians, that were Hydrozoa, Scyphozoa and Anthozoa. Okay, so in today's class we are going to actually cover the advanced animals and advanced topics of these all classes. So in this class, Hydra is very important. In Scyphozoa, actually you will see that no metagenesis occurred, but here metagenesis occurred, here no metagenesis occurred, but there is a cycle of the structure. Polyp and medusa के बीच में there is a cycle, but there is no alternation of generation or metagenesis. All we will discuss. In Anthozoa, these are actually corals, so we will discuss the coral reef in detail. Okay. So let's discuss, guys, first Hydra. So Hydra has a cylindrical structure. So if you are going to study about the cnidarian in detail, you will find that there is two kind of structure. First one is the cylindrical structure, which is called the polyp. Okay, and second one is the medusa. Okay. Medusa is actually umbrella-like structure, or you can say in bell-like structure, umbrella structure or bell structure. So guys, these structure has given a name like medusa, and the polyp structures are cylindrical structure. So Hydra is kind of polyp structure. You all have studied that Hydrozoa has polyp structure, or polyp or medusa both. Okay. So polyp structure Hydra has. So the advancement is that if the same animal has polyp and medusa structure, that is the case with Obelia. Okay, that is the case with Obelia. If these two structures are found in the organism, then they will show the alternation of generation. Means that polyp is converted into medusa and medusa is converted into polyp. We'll see that. And this process is known as the metagenesis or alternation of generation, which is not found in the Hydra. Why? Because only polyp structure is there. There is no medusa is there. So guys, if you will see the Hydra, you will come to know that this kind of irregular cylindrical structure is found of the Hydra. So Hydra has well-marked regeneration. Okay, it is very important to know Hydra has well-marked regeneration, and regeneration is just nothing but the splitting of the cell and giving rise to the full animal, full Hydra. So guys, I am discussing the basic properties of the Hydra, not going in detail about the regeneration process. So guys, what happens? It has, actually this is Hydra vulgaris, which is very common, and it is basically colorless with 6 to 10 tentacles. Okay, tentacles are what? Tentacles are these structures which is actually at the right angle of the polyp, and these are actually sensitive to the stimulus. Okay, so it can be used for the firing, like kind of defense and attack mechanism. Okay, so guys, now what is important is that these organisms are actually monoecious. dioecious, but dioecious I have seen that two different bodies, and these can be called as monosexual. Unisexual or monosexual. So guys, these unisexual organism means that the male and female of the hydra are different. If this is a male, it will have, if this is a male, suppose, it will have 2 to 8 testes. Okay. If it is a female, then it will have 1 to ovary. Okay. So please remember these. These are this kind of organism, dioecious. It means unisexual and has 2 to 8 testes or 1 to 2 ovary depending on the sexuality. So guys, about the nutrition, these are actually carnivorous organisms. So think that this is so small and they are carnivores. This is very like funny. So these actually feeds on the water flea. Water flea are actually crustaceans, that is the group from the arthropoda, and they are actually cyclops and daphnia. These are very small water insects. Okay, so they feed on that. Now about the species. What are the species of hydra? So guys, hydra is like discovery, if you are going to look into, then it is very long back that the hydra was discovered. So about hydra was primarily known by different names, but now they are actually given a single name, that is the hydra, but it can be chlorohydra if it is green. Okay, if it is brown, then it will be called pimatohydra or pimatohydra or simple hydra. So guys, if we are going to study in detail about the species, sometimes what happens, they ask that which is the most common hydra species. So most common were the Hydra vulgaris, but they sometimes give you the matching type question, that which is green, which is brown, which is white or pink, or which is colorless. So these 4 kind of structures, or you can say the specification of the hydra, are found in the organism. So these are basically green, brown, white or pink, or blue, you can say, okay, or colorless. So as I've said, Hydra vulgaris is what? Is a colorless organism. But Hydra gigantica, Gigantica, Hydra gigantica is white, pink or blue depending on the. So these, if you are find Hydra which is white, pink or blue, it will be Hydra gigantica. Chlorohydra is actually Hydra viridissima, viridissima, viridissima. The old name of this hydra is Hydra viridissi or viridissa. Okay, Hydra viridis. Basically, Hydra viridis is the old name of the Chlorohydra viridissima. What about the Pimatohydra? Pimatohydra is a brown hydra and it is known as Hydra fusca. What happens? Fusca and Hydra viridis, these are old names. New names are these: Pimatohydra, Chlorohydra. So that it can be like distinguished from the simple hydra which are colorless or white. Okay. So Oligactis, Pimatohydra oligactis species, Oligactis. Pimatohydra oligactis is the brown hydra. So in matching type questions, you are given the names of the hydra, species of the hydra, and you have to match upon this. So this becomes very important. VVI I am writing here. So please remember these things at least. Okay. So guys, hydra is dangerous obviously because they are having tentacles which is used for the defense and attack. So nothing more about it. Let's come to this like metagenesis. Very important. So guys, one important thing, Hydra has a tentacle which is hollow, okay? But Obelia, the same group, but they are marine, they are the solid tentacles, okay? So let's learn about the metagenesis in detail. Metagenesis. Metagenesis is what? Metagenesis is alternation of generation between the polyp and medusa form. Now see what happens. These are actually most common in hydrozoa, where polyp and medusa, both forms are found in the single animal. But not in the hydra, because they are only polyp which are found in the organism. So hydrozoa and basically Obelia is the most common example. Sometimes what happens, important questions are asked that the Obelia, they will give you the metagenesis is found in hydra, options Obelia, Aurelia, and Adamsia. Adamsia you almost see anymore. It is actually the group from the. So you have to mark tick. So the Obelia will be the correct answer. No metagenesis is found in the hydra, not in the Aurelia, not in the Adamsia. So Obelia is the correct answer where the metagenesis, proper metagenesis is found. Okay. So let's look into this. What is metagenesis actually? So polyp are you almost cylindrical structures, and these are actually asexual form. And these are actually haploid. Sometimes what happens, difference is asked between the polyp and the medusa, or sexual in the asexual form of the life form of the Cnidaria. So please remember these 3 points. These will give you 2 marks. Asexual form, haploid, and these are actually formed by vegetative budding. They reproduce by vegetative budding. In contrast, medusa are sexual life forms, sexual organism, actually sexual life form or organism you can say, and these are diploid, 2N. Okay, and they are actually reproducing through the simple sexual reproduction, that is the conjugation organ. Okay, sexual reproduction where gametic fertilization is seen. Fertilization, please write in full form. I am writing it. So guys, what happens now? Let's look into what is going on and what are the what is happening in this organism. Remember that what happens, the life form which is going through the metagenesis has a indirect development. What is indirect development? Indirect development means they are actually having a larval stage, which is not found in the hydra. So hydra has no larval stage, they are direct development, but here they are indirect development, and larva is called planula in case of Obelia. So I am going to teach you about the metagenesis in Obelia, which is very important. So I am drawing the structures and drawing the sequential life form conversion. All these things I am going to discuss in detail. Okay. So let's discuss about the form first. So what happens? Sexual life form, that is medusa. Okay. Suppose this is a medusa. Medusa generally looks like this. Okay. Umbrella. Umbrella like structure, and then suppose this is a male and this is a female. So male will release sperm and female will release ova. Okay. So now these ova and sperms are getting fertilized, and they will give rise to the zygote after proper fertilization. So this will give the zygote, which is actually 2N. So these are N, these are N, these are 2N, these are 2N, but they will give rise to the zygote 2N after the union of N and N, that is male and female gametes. So now these organisms, these zygote, will undergo cleavage. So what happens? Cleavage is what? What is cleavage? Cleavage is something which is splitting of the cell, or you can say dividing cell into different cells, so that the full organism is given rise from the single cell, that is zygote. So cleavage is division of cell, division of actually the zygote. So then it will give rise to the blastula. Blastula is actually what? 32 cell stage. So now these blastula are actually very abundant in pluripotent cells. So now blastula will now give rise to a larval stage, that is the planula. Planula is somewhat cylindrical structure and different cells are here. So this larval stage, that is planula in Obelia is very important. Why? Because this is the organism which is now going converted into the ant. So what I have said, that polyp is haploid. So here yahan se they will start like being haploid. So guys, now these structures are very much like kind of first free living. First they will swim, just like suppose the guy which is in the restricted hostel, suppose came out and they start wandering, and then after some time when they get tired they settle down. So same thing happens with this like planula stage. Planula, they will now become sessile and will hold the substratum and then will attach with that this planula larva. Okay, and then it becomes sessile. First it was free living, then became sessile. Sessile means fixed. Okay, so now this will start developing into a proper kind of polyp structure. Okay, so it will start developing in the proper polyp structure, and which is N, that is haploid. So if suppose subjective type questions are asked from these topics, then you have to write draw all the diagram. Now these polyp structures again is going to develop buds, and these buds are actually medusa like structures. This will detach from here and they will give rise to the adult medusa. Okay, adult medusa in Obelia. So this was actually about the Obelian metagenesis, alternation of generation in metagenesis. So guys, please remember here, this is actually sexual reproduction, this is asexual reproduction, where vegetative budding is important part of the life form of the polyp. Vegetative budding. On the other hand, sexual reproduction or fertilization becomes very important part of the medusal lifestyle. Okay, so guys, please remember this chart. This is very important. So it was all about the metagenesis. Now what is the case with the organisms which are actually having the medusa as abundant phase, that is Scyphozoa. This was all about the hydrozoa. Scyphozoa may they are not having the haploid polyp structure. So what happens? There is no metagenesis. So metagenesis is only found in the hydrozoa. So suppose consider a statement. Okay, all hydrozoa show metagenesis. Is this statement correct? No. Why? Because hydrozoa has two organisms, one with polyp life form and another with polyp and medusa, both life form. So guys, this example is Hydra, this other example is Obelia. So guys, Obelia has metagenesis because it has polyp and medusa, both life form in a single organism. So guys, this statement is incorrect. Okay, many times these statements like these are shuffled and asked. So please remember this statement. Okay. The third important thing about the anthozoa. So guys, anthozoa, which is actually very much kind of thing where polyp structures are dominant. Okay, as you all know, Gorgonia, Adamsia, Madrepora, corals, all these are found in the anthozoa. So anthozoa is called the class of corals. Okay, actually the corals. So now see what happens in corals. What is you all have learned in sometimes come encountered with the term coral reef. So what is, suppose you cholesterol raft. You have learned in plasma membrane what happens. There is a cholesterol raft. Raft is something which is reef. If suppose you are considering this plasma membrane, that is the fluid mosaic model of the plasma membrane as the like sea, then rafts are what? Rafts are reefs. Compare these things with a reef. This is just like a hypothetical thing, and the important thing here is that you have to know on which island which coral reefs are found and what is the concept behind coral reef. So first of all, coral reefs are actually what? Actually they are the accumulation of Madreporanian. Madrepora you all know, na? That is reef, common reef. Madreporanian corals at shallow surface of the sea. So first important thing is that it is found at the surface of the sea. So what happens at the surface of the sea? Suppose many corals are coming, then they are accumulating, they are shedding their CaCO3, that is calcium carbonate, on the upper surface. So calcium carbonate is hard substance, so it becomes the part where there is a like kind of survival of different life forms, different flora and fauna on this accumulation. So these accumulations are sometimes called mini island or pseudo island. Why? Because they are false island. They are not actually island. There is no soil, only CaCO3 accumulation here. So these becomes false island which supports various life forms on their surface. So let's discuss about the types of coral reefs. So guys, mainly 3 types of coral reefs are found in the world, and they are actually the first one is the fringing type of fringing. Second one is the barrier type of, and third one is the atoll type of atoll. Okay. So guys, what happens every time? What happens? These coral reefs are found surrounding the island. So island becomes very important for fringing. Island becomes very important. Suppose this is the island, you will find this accumulation just near the seashore. Okay guys, so this structure which is actually shaded, or you can say banded, so these structures are found at, these structures are called the fringing reef. So this is actually fringing coral reef. These structures, these. Okay, this is actually the island, and there is a gap, minor gap. This will be around like kind of within 1 kilometer. So this is negligible. So just near the seashore from the island, you will find the fringing reef. This is the case near the volcanic islands like Hawaiian Island. Hawaiian Island is very important, which is a volcanic island. So it can be seen near the volcanic island because the abundant nature of the like kind of, you can say, parameters which are favoring the growth of the coral reefs. So the second one is the barrier. What is barrier? Again, island is there, but you will see the reef around 100 to 150 kilometers away. 100 to 150 kilometers, or you can say 90 miles away. Okay guys, so these are actually the water body. So first island, that is land, then water body, then this is the coral reef. So what happens? Why is this barrier? This is barrier because there is a barrier of water island which is called actually the lagoon. So suppose some water is trapped between the calcium carbonate accumulation, or you can say coral reef, and the island, then it will be called the lagoon. Lagoon is what? Lagoon is actually the water body which is residing or trapped between the islands. So this is pseudo island, this is island. This water body is trapped, so it is called lagoon. And sometimes what happens, this becomes very important at 100 to 150 kilometers of apart from the island, or you can say the distance from the island, these reefs are found. So the most important example here is the Great Island of Australia. Great Island of Australia. So guys, Australian Great Island supports various life forms. So if you are studying about the diversity, you should know that this island is the like kind of hotspot for various life forms. Okay, so this is like millions, like kind of millions of hectares, you can say. These are. So guys, here this is actually 190 miles away from the sea, from the island. Okay, so this distance is very important. Fringing and barrier is same, but this negligible distance is converted into 100 to 150 kilometers. Now Atoll Island. Atoll Island do not have kind of any like island. Suppose here there was an island, here there is no island. So what happens? There is an accumulation, and this kind of accumulation is there. So this is a barrier, or you can say this is a like channel, which is actually important in atoll. So atoll basically means splitted. So guys, what happens? This reef is actually splitted into 3, 4, 5, 6 like kind of structures, and there is a channel which separates two atolls. This is atoll, coral reef, and these are atoll. So atoll 1, atoll 2, atoll 3, all atolls are what? Separated by a channel, and everywhere there is a water, and here also there is a water. Okay. So these water body, again I am saying that this is actually trapped between the island, in the island. So this is called the lagoon. So if you are justifying the atoll island, the atoll coral reef, then you have to show channel, lagoon, and atoll. Actually atolls. Okay. So this is the case with the Bay of Bengal में and Arabian Sea वाले islands में. Okay. Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea islands. Basically Maldives Islands and Lakshadweep. Maldives and Lakshadweep Islands are kind of example of this. Please remember that this is very important. These are asked many times. Okay. So guys, what happens? Lakshadweep mein you are seeing that 38 island clusters are there. So these are, you can think of this because this is in news, because Lakshadweep Development Authority is going on where they are actually going to develop the kind of Maldives kind of thing where you can enjoy the honeymoon and all. So guys, 38 islands are in the Lakshadweep, and they all are splitted into different types, and they have the channel. So what happened? There is scattered kind of condition in the atoll. Okay. So this was all about the specialized topics of the Cnidarians or Coelenterata. I hope you have enjoyed. Please go through it. UPSC aspirants, please go through it. This is very important. At least remember the type and example. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Please hit the subscribe button and please like the video and please share to the near ones. Okay. Thank you guys.